in and of itself as a title conjures up images of hope, promise, confidence building, movement of our people, a synergy, a united endeavor. And while it has connotations of a heavy lifting act, I love the synergy of bringing people together towards a united goal. So in hindsight, at this point in time, COVID raging, etc., you were right bang on there on time with your vision, etc. Obviously, you answered to the call, as it were. So it's one great movement gathering momentum in Ireland. That's why I've asked you to come on this journey with me, asking the hard questions. We're living in a space where people fear asking questions, maybe because they're afraid of rejection or afraid of appearing foolish. So I'm going out on a wing asking the questions. So what's your broad objective with Lift Ireland?
Yeah, so I've said I'll give this 10 years, and we're going to take 10 years to get 10% of the population actually strengthening their leadership using the Lift process. So it's a 10-year goal, 10% of the population, and we are almost finished year 3. So, you know, it is, our vision is...
You will far surpass 10%, you know that?
Well, do you know what? I did at one stage get all excited and enthusiastic and nearly killed my team by saying, let's try and do it in 5. But I think we'll do it in 10. We really will. We spent the first 2 years really strengthening the team, the processes, the structures, and building credibility. And our vision is to create positive change in Ireland's leaders, one person at a time. And that one person at a time is really key. You know, we started one person at a time. We started in May 2018. By the end of the year, we had about 1,000 people involved. By the end of year 2, we had 6,000 people involved. We're going to hit year 3 in May now coming up, and we're going to have 17,000 people involved.
And so, explain to me the organizations that they come from. That will give the listener the overview and maybe entice them to pick up the phone and make a call to you.
Absolutely. So, and the best way to do it is to go onto the website liftireland.ie. But the organizations, we have partners such as the ESB, AIB, CPL Group, big organizations in the country, as well as the Burn Smokehouse in Lisdoonvarna and Wedding Dates in Cork, and all these wonderful, wonderful smaller organizations. We have sports organizations like Munster Rugby that are living out Lift through there, and Rowing Ireland. We have universities. NUI Galway is the first university to fully partner with Lift, and we're piloting it currently with UCD, UL, DCU also. And we have
loads of schools, I know as well. I've introduced so many educators to it who are embracing it. Speak to us about that, its appeal for schools.
Yeah, we do. And in fact, in our first year, we just had one school and we piloted it out to make sure that we were doing it properly and the right way. So we piloted it with Confi College in Leixlip. Our second year, then we had much greater demand as word just started to get out, and we took 28 schools in our second year, and then we hit COVID. Currently, we've 150 secondary schools, post-primary schools from across the country, all doing Lift with their students. So it's fantastic, and it's the exact same program. And while I was mentioning the organizations there, I mentioned the corporates and the sports, but another really big part of the organizations that we have are the nonprofits. Like we have Merchants Quay have just come on board, Purple House Cancer Centre, Laura Lynn, Goal Ireland, Cancer Trials Ireland, all these fantastic not-for-profits are all using Lift as well. But in the schools, we have 150 schools that are doing the same program that the people in our corporates, in our sports clubs, in our universities, in our not-for-profits are doing. We are all as a nation coming together to do the exact same program to strengthen ourselves as leaders. And Teresa, let's just talk about leadership for just 1 second, right? Because sometimes when we talk about leadership, we get a misunderstanding that it's something high-powered or highfalutin, and it's not. The thing about it is that you're a leader and so am I, and so is a 14-year-old boy in school, and so is a 16-year-old girl in school, or anybody, you know, any age and any gender in school, and any college and everything else. They are all leaders, because if you've got people around you that are paying attention to what you're saying, then you're leading them. And sometimes they're paying a lot of attention, in which case you're leading them well, and sometimes you're leading them not so well. And what LIFT does is it shows you how to strengthen your leadership muscle so that you have more positive influence and authentic influence and good influence. We're talking about positive leadership here with the people around us. So every single young person in a school, every teacher, every person that works in a school, every single person is a leader.
And if you consider, Joanne, what the seeds you're sowing among our young for the future, when they go leave secondary school, go into college as responsible young people, and then into the workplace. And the workplaces these days are decrying the loss of soft skills. There, you're setting the groundwork to meet that deficit.
Well, I think we're kind of opening the door, and what's really happening is they're doing it themselves. So we equip and empower them and give it to the school. We give LIFT to the school. We equip them, we empower them, we show them how to do it. And then the students run it themselves, like it is student-led and it's peer-to-peer. It's phenomenal how it works in the schools.
And it's a synergy between staff and students.
It's great.
Working. And that, the word collaboration is used everywhere, but this collaboration within school and this notion of student voice, and even having a group of teachers trained up and then moving on to the student council, moving on to TY, and they then taking the reins and moving it on again. It's like a whispering game,
It's fantastic. The idea is that a 14-year-old might do a LIFT round table with one of the TYs in school, and then they get into TY and then they get involved as a facilitator.
Excellent.
And then they go on to college and they do it again. And then they go into work, or they go straight to work and they do it again because it's happening in their organization. So that's very exciting. We will create a nation of really strong leaders.